What's going on, guys, and welcome to your pre-running warm-up and activation. I use this before I do every run, and what it does is just like loosen off any tight muscles through the lower body and upper body, and then also activate muscles. So then you're not trying to warm into your run. Obviously there is a warm-up when you're doing the run, maybe the first like 5 to 7 minutes, but this is what I go through, and this is the process that I go through before each run to make sure I feel great going into it. So what you want to do to start off is work through the lower portion of your body, just so then you can tick off things in your head as you go. You're working through the lower portion of your body first into the upper body. Obviously lower body is a lot more important. So what we're going to do is start on a foam roller. Doesn't matter if you have a spiky one or a nice smooth one, bigger than this, whatever. So what we're going to do first is on each leg is we're going to roll through the outside of the calf first on both sides. If there's a sticking point or somewhere that feels a little bit rough, just stay on that side spot for a bit more time. But I like to go back and forward about 10 times in full. Then I go to the middle of the calf, holding myself up, going all the way to the back of that Achilles, all the way to pretty much the back of the knee. And if there's any spots on the way, I'll just go over that a couple more times. And then finally, going through the inside of the calf. From there, we're going to target the adductors and abductors of the leg for when we're running. So the way we do that, the first one, we go on our side, our leg in front, and we're going to roll that full length of the leg from the knee to our hip there. And to roll the inside, we put the roller on an angle and we lay down and lift ourselves up a little bit off the ground. You can see that. I just roll the inside of the leg all the way up into the upper part of those hamstrings or those adductors, that groin area, and then also down to the inside of that knee. From there, the next one, which is my favorite, is rolling out the glutes. The way we get into this muscle group, the best I feel, is bringing our leg up and over. We slightly turn on an angle and we go back and forward on that area. You'll get that little bit of muscle that's popping out. You want to kind of like just work back and forward over that area. Once again, probably about 10 rolls back and forward. So up and back is 1, up and back is 2. From there, we then have covered our calves, our adductors, abductors. You can give your hamstrings a bit of a roll out as well if you'd like. We've done our glutes. Now we're going to move into our hips. Now our hips are going to be one of those places, those areas that get tight from sitting down, driving, all that. So what you want to do is go on an angle. You'll find where your hip bone is, and just under that, we're laying on there. You want to try and every now and then lift that back leg up off the ground a little bit and roll back and forward. You'll feel the spot when you get there, and just go back and forward through there. Now another very important spot to release, it may not seem like it, but it is very important to release through our back, so then we can get our arms moving back and forward. We can get a nice relaxed posture when we're running. So the way we're going to get through that is we start on our lower back, keep a nice natural curve through that back, working through that lower back, making sure we're not actually arching over it. We don't want that. We want to have our back bent so that we can get right into that muscle group and pretty much go kind of like side to side, working through that. From there, when we hit our upper back, we want to arms above our head and roll yourself back and forward through those shoulders. And that's our foam rolling. From there, we're going to do some hip opening and also some glute activation. So the first one we're going to be doing is our hip opener. So I'm going to get on an angle here, foot out in front, one hand down. Now the side that we've got our foot up on, we're going to push up on that back leg and we're gonna go elbow down as far as we can and rotate up. We're gonna get about a 2-second count, so coming down, 1, 2, 1, 2. So do that about 5 times each side, and we have two more activation things to do. The next movement we're going to be doing is a glute activation movement. You want to find yourself like a beam or a wall that you can go against, preferably that your foot won't go through. We're laying back, 1 foot on, 1 leg over, and what we're going to be doing here is pushing down. So we're not pushing away because that's going to push our back along the ground. What you want to do is push down on this foot. You push down, and you should feel your hamstring and glute activate, and from there we push our knee away, holding that for about 10 seconds. After that 10 seconds we come down, bring that knee into our chest, nice and tight, nice and close, and then push down again and away. Once again, about 10 seconds each side, and 10 seconds each of those holds, and probably about 5 times each side. From there, our final thing before we run is going to be our calf activation to warm up those calves, to stop us from getting shin splints. So rather than stretching out our calves, what we're going to do is do some calf activation. So what we're going to be doing is just raising ourselves up onto that foot, get about a 3-second hold, do about 3 to 5 on that side, and then we're going to be doing some single leg hops. From there, we then go to the other side, 1, 2, 3, and then 5 single leg hops. And that is your running activation before each run.